Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, as usual, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start it off by giving all the glory and infinite praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone. Peace and blessings be to the Akim now pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Yahweh by Shema Shai Barakathon. I think what I'm entitled this lesson is America will soon be a shoot-on-sight country. Somewhere along them lines, whatever the spirit is on me to, entitle this lesson. But I got this video queued up and call out Yahweh by Shema Shai by Shema Kakadash that is so much shit happening. Because all these signs indicate that we that much closer to home. It's so much going on that it's hard to keep up with it. So many lessons being put out. But basically what's happening in Bangladesh is, you got the citizens over there, and as a matter of fact, you got a little description right here, but it say police across Bangladesh have been given a shoot-on-sight order if civilians break curfew amid growing protests. And that's what I'm gonna stop at. And when you read on further down, it gets into why, Bangladesh's citizens is over there, acting the way they acting. And this shit is soon coming to America. Because just like how the government is over there fucking over jobs and all that, fucking over the economy, the same thing is going on over here in the States. It's just not being broadcasted like that because the people here are asleep. And one thing they're not going to do is put this shit on the news. Because they put it on the news, them motherfuckers going to start to panic. And they don't want that. They want Jake, primarily Jake, but they want these Babylonians to be controlled. So that'd be that much easier, but they know damn well that they not. Because right now what they talking about is how, within a 70-day span, when it comes to this election from November to sometime in January, they said that it's evident that it's gonna be like a civil unrest. And what's being talked about a lot is the Black Swan event. With troops coming and invading shit. And they already here. All the motherfuckers they done let through the borders and all that, there's sleeper cells all throughout the states. And call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai, because right now, we in some beautiful ass times. We witnessing the downfall of this nigga king. And we finna witness so much judgment out here. Them shoot-on-sight orders that they ordering them Bangladesh, the Bangladesh army, to issue out on the civilians and shit. That's what's coming here. And they probably ain't hitting them with live rounds and shit, hollow tips and all that. They probably hitting them with bean bags and rubber bullets, just to scare them off and shit. But all this shit is gonna escalate, and with America being the cherry on top, ain't gonna be no bean bags and shit like that. It's gonna be live rounds over here. And Nahum the 3rd chapter talks about how the horsemen, and I'm gonna grab it here in a minute if the spirit is on me to. But it gets into how the horseman is gonna lift up that bright and glittering spear, right? And the slain. Hey, matter of fact, I just gotta go ahead and get it, man. Let me get that joint real quick. This is the book of Nahum 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 1 and say, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." And the bloody city is talking about America, Babylon the Great, because that's how Esau got this land in the first place. You know what I'm saying? We all know this. This man history speaks for itself. It said the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots, talking about they military vehicles. Humvees, Jeeps, the goddamn insurgents, the shit with the turrets on them, so on and so forth. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, talking about that person that's going to be on the back of that, the back of that machine gun, like how they show you when you see them cartel videos of Issachar and TJ and shit in Tijuana, how they on the back of them trucks with them 50 cals. That's how these troops is going to be over here. And seeing one thing that America has done throughout its history is rape, rob, and murder. And fortunately, I say fortunately because it's a good thing. All right, us as Israelites, we need this shit to happen. This is why we welcome it. All right. But America has gone all throughout the planet Earth and raped, robbed, and murdered. It's only right if it comes back on this bitch. All right. And you know what, Edomite, a lot of these Edomites, they got that pride. And you got Jake that's in that American patriotic, proud ass spirit too, thinking that America is untouchable and shit. America's about to be touched. What you seeing overseas, that shit is just the tip of the iceberg, bro. The tip of the iceberg compared to what's finna be happening over here. It's saying there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none enter the corpses. They stumble upon the corpses. And one thing about a gun, a firearm is a gun can knock down 100 people within an instant. You know what I'm saying? Let off a 100-round drum in the crowd, and it's gonna be all type of people chopped down. This is what's gonna be happening. All right, and like I said, they probably not using live rounds, more than likely not. But eventually, that's what time it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Deploy the Army and impose a strict new curfew with a shoot-on-sight order. Let's bring in ABC's
strict new curfew. You know what I'm saying? And we saw a little hint of that, you know what I'm saying, whenever what was it, 2020? Whenever this whole little shit came about. All right? And even then, that wasn't nothing. What's getting ready to be set in place is draconian laws. When you go into that definition, it's like harsh or rigorous laws. It's going to be so much to the point like how they was doing in Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. Anything that's darker than a brown paper bag, you better lay that shit down. That's exactly what the fuck they going to do, because really what this is all about is about you Jakes. All right, it may not seem like it, but behind closed doors, that's what's going on. All for the controversy of Zion, like the Lord said. All right. This shit is all happening because Esau gonna try to get you out the way. And this is why it's important for your ass to repent in these times while you can. All right, because this shit is speeding up. Next thing you know, we're gonna be in November. Ain't no telling what the Lord gonna have happening out here. The dark winter that was being talked about a couple years ago, this could be that dark winter. All right. And the scriptures say to pray that thy flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath. All right, you on the worst times when you can't even do shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it snowing and now of course, you know what I'm saying, the Lord can make it happen when it's like that. Shit, in Jacob's trouble, it'll probably be snowing. But the Lord gonna look out for brothers, man. That's gonna be the difference between the elect and the non-elect. You gonna have niggas out here getting chopped down, you know what I mean? Because that's gonna be their judgment. And you gonna have those that's gonna be saved, all right? That's gonna make it and prevail through all this shit.
Inez de la Catera, and Inez, more than 100 people have already died in these clashes.
And that ain't nothing. Like we just read, it says, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses. And there is none enter the corpses, they stumble upon the corpses. So over here in this bloody city, it's going to be so many dead bodies out here, because one thing about it is there's not going to be a 911 or ambulance to come and pick up a body off the street. You know what I mean? FEMA, they going to half-ass do it. They got the FEMA coffins. But for the most part, bodies is just going to be out here laid out. 100 people, getting knocked off, in which they probably, inflated that. All right? That ain't going to be shit compared to what the Lord is getting ready to do over here in the States, man. All right, it's a lot of people or a lot of souls being brought back into this earth for a reason. Because like the Lord said, he getting ready to make a great slaughter. You know what I'm saying? He told the fowls of the air, you know what I'm saying, that he preparing a great feast for them. Why is that? Because the Lord is getting ready to take a lot of people back up there to the fourth dimension. To the gulag, man. All right.
That's right, Whit, and those protests turning deadly, with government buildings set on fire, a mob storming the state broadcaster, and police firing back with tear gas and live rounds. At least 110 people have been killed, though it's hard to know just how many casualties there have been, with the government imposing a nationwide internet blackout. The U.S. Embassy in a statement saying reports indicate hundreds to possibly thousands have been injured, adding the situation is extremely volatile. Now, these protests first broke out weeks ago over a new quota system that allocates up to 30% of government jobs to the families of veterans who fought for independence against Pakistan in 1971. The Army has now been deployed in the country's capital to enforce a strict curfew with a shoot-on-site order. That curfew expected to end at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Alarming new details in it.
It's expected to end. All right. But this curfew ain't going to end over here. All right. And I want to grab this real quick. Damn, as a matter of fact, I might as well go ahead and start at verse 1. This second Ezra 9:1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the times past which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Alright, and the spirit of the Most High is in the world, man. Alright, this is why you seeing all these plagues being brought about. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one of the riots that's happening overseas and shit. Over there in Haiti, you know, they got shit going on over there. They had to bring in the Kenyan military over there to try to get them Levites in order and shit. You know what I mean? You got shit happening all across the globe. But America like a balloon that's being blew up and shit. Eventually that shit gonna pop. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a whole shit show. It's going to be a straight disaster over here, man. All right? Especially with all the guns here. You know it's going to be a war zone. It say, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which is what we seeing, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and the end is manifest. Right? It's obvious that we here, man. You know what I mean? Which makes it that more exciting, and which is why you got to get your spirit in order to speak it to myself first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? You got to get right with the Most High while you can, because eventually, bro, it's gonna be a day to come about, and you're gonna be thinking in your head like, damn, the grace period really over with. It's really over with. Like, damn, I can't repent no more. All right. Hey, the Most High getting ready to speed. Hey, he been speeding these days up. These weeks is flying by. That's what I'm saying. One day we're going to look up and it's going to be November. And these Edomites probably going to be here acting a fool. All right. It say, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be. Matter of fact, we got to jump down. All right, Salakia, give me 1 second. All right. All right, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra 15. And verse 15, it say, for matter of fact, I got to start at 14. It say, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know what I mean? And this is talking about civil unrest, which is what's expected to happen here in the States. You know, like I said, they gave a time span of 70 days between November and January. All right? And I believe that this shit could happen. You know what I mean? Especially with them setting up certain things like what just happened with Trump, you know, which is, I believe this shit was a straight psyop. You know what I mean? 'Cause ain't no way in the fuck, come on now. He ain't get shot. All right? But anyways, you know, the stuff that's happening with that, all that shit is going to bring about, you know what I'm saying, stirring up the people. And then on top of that, another thing that you got to consider is what's happening with the Sonya, or I forgot her name exactly, but the Jake woman, the Judite woman who got shot in the face 3 times by that Edomite cop. I seen a post where it's basically getting into how around most of these elections, what they usually do is they'll commit like police brutality to basically stir up Jake emotions and shit to try to get him to wander to one side other than the other. All right, basically just, getting Jake mind, man. All right, and with them doing that, it's perfect, bro. It makes no other sense, or it doesn't make sense for there not to be civil unrest in these upcoming months, heading towards the end of this year. It only makes sense, man. It say, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Ain't nobody gonna be listening to the government. Ain't nobody gonna be listening to Donald Trump if his ass is in office. All right? And this is why they gonna declare for martial law. All right, that warlike law to try to get these citizens in order and shit. All right, and they know these Edomites gonna be busting back. Like a couple months ago when they was talking about how, the sleeper cells, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? It was Edomites in the comments talking about how, they gonna do their thing. You know what I'm saying? If that's what's necessary. And that's exactly what the fuck gonna happen. All right? It say a man shall desire to go into a city, and here's the point, and shall not be able. All right? And they gonna set them curfews up. They gonna set them curfews up, some strict ass curfews where you can't go outside. You go outside, a drone gonna hit your ass. All right? You ain't gonna be able to leave the city. You're not gonna be able to go into a different city. You're gonna have military checkpoints all throughout the cities, especially these big ones. All right? So now the next one I want to get is Ezekiel 21 and verse 8. And it said, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. All right, and right now that sword is being sharpened and it's being furbished. You know what I'm saying? Right now, with the so-called white man doing this, he's sharpening that shit. Sharpening, getting ready to make a clean-ass cut. He doing that by setting all these different stages up to roll in martial law. You know what I'm saying? He breaking down the economy and shit to get your emotions stirred up. Police brutality, shit like that. All right? Because this man is getting ready to make a slow slaughter, like it's saying in Revelations the 12th chapter. He gonna come down with that great wrath. This is it. This is it for him. So he finna try to go out with a bang. And it say, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Tears by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. Like I said, this shit is all coming towards you, Jakes, man. Luke the 19th chapter talks about how the enemy is going to pass thee roundabout. You know what I'm saying? This shit is coming, Jake. All right, so, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Adam Ratzazada point was proven and that this lesson was edifying. All right, but call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash as always. And with that being said, above, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Shalom.